Hello and welcome to Ethics Lecture 6. I'm Dr. Amber Hughes. In this lecture, I'm going to go over the professional associations for counseling and review the website and kind of walk you through how what your options are for belonging to a professional organization. First of all, what is a professional association? So it's an association of professionals who it provides a lot of resources for us, which I'll talk about more specifically in just a second, but it's a way to kind of come together at conferences and to share information, share ideas, but also to come together for things like advocacy and professional development and really defining our profession. So in terms of counseling, the American Counseling Association is our organization, and it's done a whole lot of things. It provides our code of ethics. It provides a lot of advocacy and resources and whatnot for us as professionals. And there's a lot of benefits to joining your professional association. The American Counseling Association, you can find it at counseling.org. It has different divisions and state branches that represent counselors and clients. So once you join ACA, you can join ACA, but then you'll also have the option of joining different divisions and branches that are more specific to you. There are two types of divisions within ACA. One is for members who practice in various employment settings, and then the other is for members who have special interests in counseling, like different groups or multicultural counseling or marriage and family. And then you'll also find your state branches for the organization. And now I'm just going to jump over to the website. So I'm at ACA's website, www.counseling.org, and I've just gone to home. Here, I'll start here. Membership. Maybe not membership. How about ACA? About ACA. There we go. About ACA. So here's a little bit about ACA. It's a non-for-profit professional and educational organization dedicated to the growth and enhancement of the counseling profession. And then here you can look at the different branches and divisions. So if you go to the divisions, these are the kind of specific to interests. So you've got Association for Adult Development and Aging, you've got Association for Assessment and Research and Counseling, Association for Child and Adolescent Counseling, and so on. And there's a whole lot. So I have joined in the past Association for Creativity and Counseling. You can tell by what's linked on my page, right? Because I have an interest in creativity. So I've joined that one in the past. I don't think I'm a member now. I always maintain membership to Association for Counselor Education and Supervision. This is for people who are teaching counselors or supervising counselors. I typically maintain membership to the American School Counselor Association because my background is in school counseling. I'm also currently a member of Counselors for Social Justice. This is something I'm passionate about, and I always maintain membership in NCDA, the National Career Development Association. And you can scan on your own the different divisions. So what's cool about these is they have they are set up like their own association. Okay, so they have their own leadership, president, president-elect, secretary, and so on. They have their own website. They have their own resources. They have their own conference typically. So again, NCDA is the one I'm most familiar with. And so you can go here and look into membership, benefits of membership, about NCDA, the board of NCDA, and so on. So here's, like I said, presidents, past presidents, treasurer, and so on. Okay, so they are their own organization. They're just housed under ACA. Okay. Again, they also typically will offer conferences. NCDA holds a national conference every year. And they also have their own publications a lot of times. And so once you join, you also get access to their publications. So NCDA publishes the Career Development Quarterly, which is a peer-reviewed journal, so you can do research within here. And then they also do Career Convergence, which is more like a kind of a magazine that they offer. It's not peer-reviewed, but it's got a lot of good resources in it. And ACA does the same. And so if you go up here real quick to publications, you can see Counseling Today is their kind of magazine-ish publication, which is less formal than their peer-reviewed journals. And then you also get access to their journals here. So JCD, CDQ, Career Development Quarterly, and Counselor Ed and Supervision are the three you get access to through just joining ACES or ACA alone. All right, back. Oh, here I want to go to divisions. Okay, so then you can go to branches, which are the state branches. So again, you can see what I'm a member of. So I'm a member of KCA. They offer their own conference every year. They don't offer a publication. Some states do. Like I've published in the Wisconsin Journal. So Wisconsin offers a publication. It is a peer-reviewed journal. So some do, some don't. KCA website's being slow. Here we go. Again, they offer a conference every year in November. And then they also offer different branches for each of the different divisions. So like National Career Development Association, there's also a KCDA. It's smaller and it's not as active as KCA, but it does provide, they do a yearly conference, a one-day conference. They provide resources. They do a monthly lunch and learn, so you can go and have lunch and have a little discussion and talk about a topic. There's a KSCA, so Kentucky School Counselors Association. So there are different branches for the different divisions as well. And then there are also regional within the state branches that are some are more active than others. Currently, I'm not a member of any in Kentucky. When I was at the University of Tennessee, we were really our program was really involved with the Smoky Mountain Counseling Association, which was a regional division of Tennessee Counseling Association, and it was really active. They had meetings, they had a conference, they had a lot of people who were really involved, and so there's kind of a whole lot of different levels of associations within ACA. And here's Ohio's. OhioCounseling.org. All right, that's being too slow. All right, back up here. And then regions. So with ACA, I haven't noticed a whole lot of regional involvement. I have noticed it at the ACES level, so the American, the Association for Counselor Education and Supervision, which is a division within ACA. The regions are very active within ACES, more so than the states. So, for example, SACES is the Southern Association for Counselor Education and Supervision. That's the one I'm involved with. And so what ACES does is they do a national conference every other year, and then on the alternative year, they do a regional conference. So you might go to ACES one year, and then you would go to SACES the next, and then ACES. And so they alternate that way. And so ACES seems to be more involved at the regional level and less at the state level, at least in Kentucky and Tennessee, the two states I've been involved with it in. And I say that because each is different. I would imagine each of the different divisions is going to be different. Like I said, I'm talking about the two I'm most familiar with because I tend to go to their conferences. I tend to go to ASIS and I tend to go to NCDA. What I like is I've never been to ACA. I've never been to the big national conference. I assume it's awesome. It's just typically not within my means of travel and finances. And I don't usually present there. What I tend to do, to go to ASIS or NCDA. Those are my favorites. They're also big conferences at the national level, just not quite as big as ACA, which tends to be huge and for me a little overwhelming because I'm more of an introvert. And so I like the divisional conferences better because they're specific to what my interests are. They're a little bit smaller, even at the national level, than ACA, and so it's a little bit more manageable for me. I really like the state conferences though, and the regional conferences because they're even smaller still, and so they tend to be more affordable. They're easy to travel to. They are a little less overwhelming than those bigger conferences, though I do, if you can, I would certainly go to one of the big national conferences because it is fun and exciting, and it's really fun when you have, a group of people that you're meeting up with or that you're traveling with. It makes it a little more fun. But the state conferences tend to be more accessible, and you get to see people that you know, and you get to take time out to do your professional development. A lot of times at these conferences, well, all the time at the ACA conferences and the ASIS and all the different divisions and branches, you'll be able to get continuing ed credits, which you'll need once you're applying for licensure. And if you get the national certified counselor credential, you'll need continuing ed credits, and you'll have that option at those conferences. You also get, with ACA membership, a free CE of the month, which is awesome. And then other professional development opportunities as well. One other benefit, and this is the last thing I'm going to say about ACA, one other benefit of membership with ACA and also with ASCA, I believe, you get free insurance with membership, which is super awesome. Liability insurance is free because that can be pricey if you pay for both separately. And so that's another benefit as well of the of membership. I just thought of one more thing. ACA Community. ACA also has started, where is it? Interest networks. These are kind of a step down from the branches and divisions. Here we go. And so these have no leadership or really structure. They're just places to share information. Here we go. Interest networks. And then some of the divisions have also started having them as well. Like ASIS has recently started having interest networks. And so if you have a specific interest in ethics or professional counselors in schools or animal assisted therapy, and you can see by the number of discussions that some are more active than others in terms of having discussions, but these are cool things to join. They're free. You just go in and you see, I'm a member of Counseling and Technology, but you just go in and join. I think they may have to be approved, but they're super easy to be involved in. And then you can just post questions, and some of them, like I said, are more active than others. I'm a member of a couple in ASIS, and they'll do like weekly, or not weekly, monthly webinars. Like I'm a member of the research one for ASIS, and they do a webinar every month with information for people. So that's really cool. But these are really just ways to share information and connect with other people in the profession who have similar interests to you. And that's all for this one. Bye-bye.